Hi and welcome. My name is Kevin, and here at my channel we learn how to make the web and how to make it look good with weekly tips, tricks, and tutorials. Go from advanced stuff to the simple stuff, and in this one it is a bit of a simple fix. So we're going to be looking at how sometimes you get layouts and you have an image, and that image has this weird, annoying little space underneath it, and it just doesn't want to go away. First, we're going to look at what's going on there. Why is this even happening? And then we're going to look at how easy it is to actually fix. There are multiple ways that you can fix this. You might find other solutions out there, but this is the default. This is the one I use every time. It's just an automatic for me on every single website I build. So let's go and check it out. All right, so we are in CodePen for this one, so I'll share the link to this below. The CSS is a little messy, but we have my image selector right here, so we should be good to go. So you know what, I'll bring that all the way to the top just in case, but I mean, you shouldn't even need the code for this one. It is so simple, and the problem that we're running into is this big gap here. So you'll notice I've brought in my image, and what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to turn off my max width, just to show you that now, I get this issue with my image. So in general, I like to always have a max width on my image. It helps make things responsive, grow, shrink, no issues at all. So that is one thing I always do on my images. And in certain circumstances, you might get this weird little gap thing that shows up underneath an image and have no idea why it's there or how to get rid of it. So looking at my HTML, I have my header with this, then I have my image, and then I have my dark background here. Now in some circumstances, maybe you could just move your image into the background area, but in this case, it's not going to give me the look that I want at all because I get that border coming all the way along, and I don't want that. And my padding is on this. Now I could change things a little. I could take my dark background off there and add it to here, but then I'd actually run into the same problem that I'm running into anyway with this little line that's showing up. And actually my line's a little bigger than you might be seeing. A lot of the time it's really, really small. It has to do with line heights and other things. So before I show you how to fix it, I do want to show you why it's happening, because it is important, in my opinion, to know why things like this do happen. So what I'm going to do is actually add in an image into my text down here. So we'll do that lorem ipsum, and then we'll just throw this image in, but I'm going to do a small one. This is a placeholder site, so normally you have to have an extension .jpg or something else like that to actually make it work. But this is a placeholder service, so I can get away without doing it, and I'm actually going to do it right here in the middle of a word. So images are inline elements. They behave like inline block, but they are inline elements, and you'll see here that it's lining up perfectly with my text. And see how there's the letter P is sticking down off the bottom here? Because images are inline elements, they're built in to have that space underneath them so that they will line up with text like this. And this harkens back to the old days of the web when you might want to do something like this, or you might include inside a paragraph or inside your text, you might include having an image. These days, we generally don't do that, and this space tends to get in the way. One thing with websites is we can never get rid of how the old functionality is and change it, because that could potentially break hundreds or thousands or millions of websites. So that means we have to do a little bit more work in our CSS, and that's the sacrifice we have to make for being able to maintain all the websites that have ever been made. But luckily it's an easy fix. Just here on my image, what I'm going to do is a display of block. And you can see that little annoying space has now vanished. And this is something I do on pretty much every single website I ever work on. It's part of my default reset that I always use, is doing a display of block on my images, because it just makes them a little bit easier to deal with. And it's very, very rare that that becomes an issue. Usually if you need it next to things, you're using things like Flexbox or other options as well. So there you have it, a nice, quick, easy tip on how you can solve that problem. I hope this helped you out. If you've started learning CSS and you feel that you're a little bit stuck with it, it was easy at the beginning, but now you're running into all these types of problems like this, or it seems a little bit counterintuitive, or you feel like you're just, the more you learn, the more there is to learn, and you're getting a bit frustrated with it. I'm currently working on a course called CSS Demystified, and the whole point of the course isn't the same traditional look that most courses take, in that we're not just building a layout. We're going to really be deep diving how CSS works. And this course is the course I wish I had when I got to that stage of holy crap, CSS is a lot more complicated than I thought it was. It's going to revisit some of the fundamentals, but look at them in a deeper level. It's going to look at fundamentals that nobody ever talks about, and it's going to look at things like content versus layout and a lot more. The whole point of this is really to unlock CSS for people, to let them see the light. So it's not going to be a deep dive into like, how does Flexbox work? It's going to be more, this is how CSS at its core works, so that whenever you're learning new things, it makes a lot more sense. As of this recording, the course is not out yet, but you can join the waiting list by checking out the link down below. It'll go into more detail of what the course is about, and if it sounds good, you can sign up to the waiting list for that course, and I'll let you know as soon as it launches. It will only have a 1-week launch period, but it will be something that I relaunch again. So if you come back and, if you're watching this video in the future and you check it out and the course isn't out yet, it probably already launched and closed, but you can join the waiting list for the next time that I do launch the course. I do plan on regularly relaunching it as I add new content to it. The reason I'm closing it and doing 1-week limited launches is because I'm doing live lessons during the course. So it's mostly going to be video lessons, but there will be live segments that go along with it as well. So every 6 months or so, I plan on relaunching it. So if you missed the last one, don't worry about it. Just sign up for the waiting list and you'll be the first to know before it relaunches again. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope it solved the problem that you were having. A really big thank you to my patrons for helping support me every single month. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. And of course, until next time, don't forget to make your corner of the internet just a little bit more awesome.